I think the common thread is there is no typical day in advertising, but for me, I always like to joke. So when my friends ask me what do, I always say I stalk and speed date on behalf of the company I work for. So basically, I talk to candidates, I see who's a potential fit, who's not. I also meet with department heads to figure out what capabilities we want to build out, how we balance out teams, what are market trends, what are market shifts, and then of course growing my team too. So I graduated during the recession. I was like way overachiever in school. I studied, I went to ad school and decided I wanted to be a creative. So I got into that track and I was like, my ideas won't come to life if I don't buy the media. So then I decided to switch to the media sequence. And throughout all that, I was always overachiever, wanted to get all the internships. So my first internship was actually in journalism, which I always mention that because that journalism internship got me the advertising internship. Because I knew how to work as a professional, I got the letters of reference, all of that. So after multiple advertising internships, I got a full-time job offer from one of the places I was working at. But then the economy tanked, and they pulled my offer. And I was miserable and depressed, and I was like, I worked so hard for nothing, I have no job. Like, I was supposed to move to Chicago. I bought my winter jacket, like my boots, everything. So I was so depressed that I'd worked hard for nothing. And I'd been named one of the most promising minority students. The whole time I'd planned on just going to play, because I'd graduated in December and the event was January, I think. But then I was like, well, I guess I really should go to actually interview. So I went, met with a bunch of people. I was named as one of the top 3 students, and I got a bunch of job offers there, and I actually got to choose where I wanted to work at. And I ultimately went client side. So that's how I got my first job in advertising. It wasn't at an ad agency, it was client side, and then one of their ad agencies hired me. And then from there, it's if you maintain the relationships, the jobs find you rather than you finding the job. That's constantly changing. When I started, it was straight up account management, account planning, media, creative. No one really knew about production. No one really knew about product management. No one knew. There was no development or tech. There was no experience design. There was no experience strategy. No content strategy. There wasn't digital strategy, data strategy, none of that. So I would say over time, you can really get any job in advertising. It's more of how you apply that job. So I would say you can get really any job. It's more of what drives you and what makes you curious about the world. Like it could be a TV spot, it could be a website, it could be an app. Virtual reality is something that we're playing with. Another thing, and this is something we built here at Droga 5, is there's this, a button that we hit called the dinner button. And so every night we bring in dinner at 8 p.m. if anyone's working late. And then if you press the button, it takes a picture of the food and it shoots it out to the whole agency. And that's something we built, and we're in advertising. So it's more of if it solves a problem, then you can build it. People with heart. Yeah, because we work so hard in this industry. We work long hours because we care about the work, but we also have to remember to care about each other. Especially if we're working long hours, right? We have to take care of each other. And it can be cutthroat. I think anything in the business world, actually any job, any adult job can be cutthroat. Because everyone needs money and a job to survive, right? So it's almost like basic survival. Sometimes it gets a little competitive. But if you really have the interest of your whole team, then everyone gets taken care of, everyone's happy, everyone grows. I know it's a bit idealistic, but I think it's always important to have a little bit of idealism. Advertising attracts so many creative, like unique, rare birds that no other industry really attracts.